Hey y'all, it's your girl Tally. Welcome back. Now, I know yesterday I did talk about presentation and how that matters, and it's 100% true. But now today I want to further that conversation and speak on after presentation. So after you got that presentation down pat, you got your hair did in a way that looks good for you. You got your nails done again in a way that looks good for you. You found the right clothes that flatter your body type, your body shape, and you have some nice shoes on. And you did your skincare routine. You working out. You in the gyms, and you getting that body right as well. And then you have a nice little makeup routine that suits you. It's not too much, not too little. For those of you who wear makeup, to be honest, even if you're a certain person who's like, oh, I'm never gonna wear makeup, this is a tricky one, because now if you even decide to wear makeup, at first it probably not gonna look good, because those of us who now wear makeup and it looks good, this didn't start last year. This started in 10th grade of high school, so that's like 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So even if you wanted to start wearing makeup, you would just have to be aggressive about it, like on them YouTube videos, really putting a lot of effort into getting it down right, because if you don't know how to do makeup, you're gonna look a mess if you try to do makeup. But definitely find the right makeup routine that just brings out your features, that highlights your features. Ain't nothing wrong with it. When people see you do that little extra, I'm telling you, it's noticeable. And even if they can't tell exactly what you've done for that little extra, they just see you in a different light, and they see that you're a little bit extra, and just the way that your response that you get from people is going to be just completely different, and I promise you that. But other than that, so after you get all that physical stuff right, and once again, my disclaimer is I was never a person who was big on this. This is something that I learned that is important. So I have to play the game how it goes, and I have to play it to my advantage. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I want you to do. But I'm sorry to say that it is important, So other than that, after you get your physical right, that first encounter, that first presentation right, then it goes on to your attitude. That attitude is very important, you all, especially when you're in a new environment, and stuff like that. Your attitude, your personality, I think that's kind of interchangeable, because whatever personality you have, your attitude is involved in that. It has to be open and friendly. Like, I know we're shy. I'm shy too, guys. I'm an introvert. I'm not, even though you see me speaking on this camera, that doesn't mean that I'm some outgoing, well, I am outgoing, but like really overly friendly, extroverted person. That's not who I am. I'm in the first encounter, I'm more on the shy side. Definitely shy, definitely quiet. You wouldn't even know that I'm like this. You guys know more about me than regular people who see me every day, like at work and things like that, because I'm not all, cheery in people's faces, trying to get to know everyone, extroverted, like all like fun, going crazy. No, me, I'm very more reserved, and I just have to get to know I have to get to know you in order for me to be more comfortable around you, period. So that attitude is very important. And there's some of us who are known for having an attitude. I'm sorry, I got to put that in there too, because I feel like it's like a culture thing, especially as a Black woman. They expect us to have this attitude. And for those of us who are under the sound of my voice, including myself, we have to try not to perpetuate the stereotypes. And this is important, because the wrong attitude for anybody, not just black women, it will lock you out of certain opportunities. People will not want to work with you. People will not want to include you. People will not want to choose you for anything. You know, people will not want to come to you. People will not want to speak to you. And then you could just like, as a result, like, it's basically your fault. You lock yourself out of great opportunities and great opportunities to collaborate with people because your attitude is not right. So I have to tell you, if I care, I have to tell you. And again, this is not just towards, you know, people who look like me, black women. This is towards everybody. That attitude has to be right. You have to be open. And like, when I say open, I don't mean like extroverted in people's faces, but you have to be approachable. Okay, so you can't have no mean look on your face. You can't look like you don't want to be bothered by people. You have to look approachable, like someone could come speak to you about whatever they have going on. And also, you have to be pleasant to speak to. So even though, you know, they could come speak to you, sometimes you're dry, sometimes you seem like you don't want to be bothered. You can't have that attitude. And this is goes for people who are in those professional environments, who want to grow professionally, who probably want to grow in their business. Because if you're a business owner, you have to be an approachable, easy to talk to person too. That's just gonna garner more business for you. So especially as a business owner, you have to be like that. But if you also want to climb that corporate ladder, you definitely have to be like that, because you can't just allow the cares of this world. And sometimes it's not even the cares of this world. Sometimes it's just how we are. It's just how we were raised. It's just how we've learned to be, you know, as a person. Like, it's not because you're mad at anything. It's just this is the type of personality that you develop. Like, this is what you've been shaped into, or you allowed yourself to become. So it's important to be able to snap out of that. It's important to rewire your brain to not be like that, because this is a big life. This is a big world, and you potentially have a long life. So everything you do in your life, you want to do things that are beneficial to you. You want to do things that progress your life forward, that bring you prosperity, that grow you, that change you for the better. This is what you want out of life. And if you want that out of life, you have to be willing to change anything that is not serving you. So if it's just that attitude that is becoming a barrier for you to grow as a person, then why not drop that attitude? For growth in general, you have to be willing to part ways with anything, anyone, or anywhere that doesn't serve your growth, that doesn't contribute to the success of your life. Because this is one life to live. If you have Jesus Christ, then you have eternal life after this, but this is one life to live on this earth. So why not make it the best you can? So be willing to part with anything, anyone, and anywhere that does not make you or contribute to your overall success of your life, the way you see your life going, your best self, the best version of yourself. Be willing to part ways with it. And sometimes our worst enemy is ourselves. Can we not say that? The worst enemy could be you, and you are stopping yourself from progressing forward. There's a time in my life I was my worst enemy. I still sometimes am my worst enemy. But yes, there's a time that I was my worst enemy. I was my worst enemy because I had an attitude. I had developed a really bad attitude, and that attitude came out when I was just when I was angry, when I was fed up, when I was tired, when I was bored. You know, that attitude just came out of me. And I remember, I told you guys about this. I remember in middle school, a gym teacher said, "Oh, you have a nasty attitude." And I remember in 5th grade, actually, there was this one gym teacher. another gym teacher. So that was 2 gym teachers. So another gym teacher, I didn't even show her an attitude, and I didn't even remember having an attitude, and she just checked me. She was in my face like growling at me, talking about something. You get attitude, you stop with that attitude. And I don't even remember having an attitude, but that goes to show you that I probably had that strong way about me even before I knew I had it. Maybe, you know, I don't remember that, but hey, she checked me crazy, so maybe it was something. So so I basically had a very stink attitude that I have to change. And I'm gonna say have to because it could still probably pop up, you never know, but I've been doing very well with it, and I've been definitely overcoming. I've been doing better, but at the end of the day, I had to realize, like, this was more than likely a defense mechanism that I developed at a very young age. You know, at a very young age, as you already know, guys, I felt rejected, I was bullied, I just did not feel included. Like, a lot happened, at a young age. So that is probably the time where I developed a very, nasty attitude. And that was just that was like a shell, a defense mechanism against the world, against people. So as I'm growing into myself, and as I want better for myself, I have to heal from that. So you might come to find out that there's things that you need to heal from in order for you to let go of those things that don't serve you. Because a lot of times you're going to look back and say, oh, I picked this up, or I act this certain way because I'm not healed, because I was hurt before. So I have to make boundaries. I have to develop boundaries around me so I don't get hurt again. But no, as a Christian especially, we learn to trust God. We learn that we don't have to protect ourselves. It's God who protects us. And us following God's standard, that's what really protects us. And we let God deal with the rest. So no matter what, no matter those people that hurt you, those people that mistreated you, our standard is to forgive them, number one. Analyze what we could have did wrong in this situation as well, and change our behavior. We can't change anybody's behaviors, but the only behavior we can control is ourselves. So I'm not asking you to just throw yourself out there and become vulnerable with anybody, but I'm just saying, God expects us to always show love. God expects us to forgive people, to show love, to love others as we love ourselves. And that is the first and foremost expectation. And we know that when we do the will of God, He's always protecting us. He always has our back. So even while we're doing those things, those good things, if someone has bad intentions towards us, it's not going to work out in their favor anyway. So when we have that level of faith in God, that hey, I'm going to be loving to people regardless, I'm going to be kind to people regardless, and no matter what, things are going to work out in my favor because God loves me, God's protecting me, then it's going to be way easier for you to show that love to other people. It's going to be way easier for you not to have a attitude with people and just be mean and kind of nasty with people, because because you know that where your the source, which is God, is overflowing. It'll never run out. It's infinite. It's an infinite source. So no one could really take anything away from you. When you have an infinite source, when you have an infinite source, like, let's say, think about something that you like, something that will never run out. Let's say if you found something that will never run out. Let's say if you had a well of money in your backyard, and every time you take money out of the well, more money pops up. And this has been going on for you for 10 years. Wouldn't you be the type of person to give money away? Wouldn't you be the type of person to always cover the bill when you go out to dinner dates? Like, you would always be giving money to charity. You would always cover anything. You would always buy gifts for people. You would be living your best life for yourself, but you would be very generous. You would be a very generous person because you have a well of money in your backyard, and no matter how much money you take, it just refills. Every day it refills more and more money. And that's exactly how you can be if you wanted to be with the love of God, with the love that God has given you, with God's forgiveness, with God's grace, with God's mercy, because that's how God is for you. That's the type of regenerating love and grace and mercy that God has for you. It never runs out. So because you just know that, you can give that to other people, because there's so much on you that you could give to other people. You don't have to be stingy or selfish with it. You could even give it to people who don't give it to you, because you're like, hey, listen, I got a lot of this. It's whatever. You feel me? If we had a well of money in our backyard that always refills, even people we don't even care for that much, we'd be like, hey, it's okay. I'll take care of this for you. And that's how essentially that God expects us to be with other people. And when we know this, and when we believe this, and when we trust God for real, because God opened up my understanding to help me understand that this is actually a faith thing. When you can open yourself up, and I'm not saying be vulnerable or too vulnerable and tell your business and tell people too much about you, but what I'm saying, when you could be a generous, loving, kind person to people, when you could actually do that, I lost my train of thought. But when you can do that, that shows that you just have faith in God, that He's gonna fill you up where you lack. He's gonna do everything you need. He's going to be on your side. He's gonna protect you while you're out doing what God asked you to do, the work of the Lord, which is loving other people. And so when you're operating from that space, it's it's literally impossible to have a bad attitude. It's impossible to have a pessimistic attitude towards other people. It's hard not to be pleasant, because you see, you're so thankful and grateful. This is another good trait to have, to be thankful, to be grateful. You're so thankful of God's goodness in your life. It's hard to be nasty with other people, because it's like you're thinking of all the times that God showed up for you, all the times that God changed things around for you, all the times that God made a difference in your life. And when you're truly grateful for those things, you can't have a nasty attitude with nobody, because it's like, come on, I'm so blessed. That's how you literally gonna feel when you have that connection with God. You develop that connection with God, you have that relationship, and then you also have that rapport with the Lord, where you have history with Him. That's what a rapport is, history, where He's always showing up for you, blessing you, taking you out of situations, delivering you, and all of that. When you have that rapport with God, it's like you feel like you're just being the most ungrateful person if you were to be nasty with someone else, because it's like God has done so much. God is so good. He has done so much, and that plays into your forgiveness of other people too. You're like, God has been so good to me. God has forgiven me. God has loved on me so much. I have no choice but to give that to other people, because that stuff is overflowing in my life. It's overflowing in my life. So of course I'm going to share it with other people. And that's how the love of God feels. So you definitely have to get over that attitude. You have to come over that attitude. And sometimes it's because we're shy. It makes us closed off too. You have to work on your shyness. This was a big deal for me. This is something I'm working through every day. Don't let your shyness, one thing's for sure, you're not going to let your shyness have you come off like you have no manners and you don't have a good attitude, because that could happen too. Sometimes you're just shy, but it comes off to other people like you lack manners or you lack a good attitude, and you definitely cannot allow that. You can't allow you being shy to not make you show up for yourself and show up as your best self. Fear is a normal feeling, because that's what shyness is. Shyness is fear. Fear is a normal feeling, but at the same time, you don't allow fear to guide and lead your life. Yes, you're going to feel it, but you don't allow it to take control. You calm yourself down, breathe in, breathe out, and you overcome it. You take it. You overcome it, because we are overcomers. Everything that I'm speaking about from top to bottom, it's about overcoming. Everything must be overcame, because as I was telling you, I didn't drop this video yet, but how do you want your story, the story about your life, how do you picture that playing out? How do you imagine that story playing out? For me personally, I want it to be a story of overcoming. of overcoming, of getting better. I don't want it to be a cycle, a loop of losses, a loop of pain, a loop of trauma. No, I want it to be a loop of, it started ugly, it started no good, but then it became something. It became something huge, and I ended up triumphant. I ended up, winning the battles. I ended up just overcoming. And that, if that's how you want your story to be, if that's how you picture your story to be as a triumphant ending, then you're gonna have to forcefully, intentionally overcome certain things, even about yourself, your personality, your character, that is not helping you move forward. So if that's that shyness that you have, as long as you're not allowing it to stop you from opportunities, or to stop you from showing up as your best self, as long as it's not coming off as you have bad manners, or you're just a closed off person and you have a bad attitude, don't let it allow that in your life, because that's a big problem. That's a big problem for you. It's going to stop you from furthering yourself and moving forward, and we just can't have that. We just cannot allow that. Okay? And then, so we said good attitude after presentation, good attitude, openness, a little bit on the friendlier side, easy to talk to. Those things are going to get you in the door. Presentation gets you in the door. That openness, that attitude keeps you in the door. Now here's another slick tactic. Well, it's not tactic, but here's another key to keep you in the door. Be open to learning. Be open to learning new things, and have a good work ethic. Those things, you would be surprised how hard is that to find. Like, when employers hear that you're eager to learn, and on top of that, you match that up with a good work ethic, you are going to be in the top range, the top percentage of people at your job, or the top people to do business with, the top pleasant people to do business with. If you are the type of person who likes to learn new things, open to new things, you're okay with unlearning the other stuff that you learned. If you found new information that proves what you used to know to not be right, or not to be the most efficient, and you're open to learning new things, that is a game changer. Because a lot of people are so stuck in their ways, and they know what they know, and even if you present them with new or updated information, they don't want to update it in their mind, because they're just complacent. So that's what it is, that complacency. You have to uproot that out of your life. Being complacent, you have to uproot that, because it stops you from being able to grow. It stops you from wanting to learn more, to better yourself, because you think you're so good where you at. But I'm telling you right now, being open to learning new things, when people sense that eagerness in you, they want to pour into you. They want to do for you, because when someone pours into someone, they're sharpening their own skills. When you choose to be a tutor or a mentor to somebody, you're sharpening your own skills, and you're, in a way, now you have accountability. You're holding yourself accountability to the standards that you're setting. Because even me over here on this video, preaching to y'all, talking to you guys certain things, even though I'm already practicing all these things in my life, and I believe in everything I say, and I put it to work, it's still a level of accountability. So if I do something, and it's not often at all, but if I do something that is a little off than what I told you all to do, I'm immediately filled with conviction in my heart, because there's never a time in my life where I want to be mentoring people, coaching somebody on these videos, speaking about something that I'm not actually applying in my daily life. That is the most horrendous thing to me. I am so sensitive to that, because I would not even be on here making videos if I wasn't able to practice what I preach, because that is horrific to me. I don't know, I take that very seriously. So just know, whatever I say on here, I'm putting it into practice. So as a mentor, as a coach, when you pour into people's life, you sharpen your own skills, and you get to hold yourself accountable. It keeps you accountable as a person. So when you're a mentee or when you're someone who wants to learn, people love that about you. People will love that about you when you're willing to upgrade and make changes to you, no matter how old you are. That is a very attractive trait in you. So being open to learn. Also, good work ethic. Ask any boss, any manager. Good work ethics is hard to find. Being professional, being on time, actually working while you are there, you know, not being on your phone all the time. I have an issue being on my phone. Here's my work ethic is always getting things done. I always get things done, but I do be on my phone. Maybe being on my phone is something I do need to work on. But if you're the type of person who be on your phone and you on your phone in front of, at times that you definitely not supposed to be on your phone, making a bad impression, and then you don't get your work done, it's not going to work out for you. It's not going to work out for you. People are not going to want to pour into you. They're not going to want to promote you, and they're not going to see you as a leader. So you definitely have to watch that. You have to make sure that you are demonstrating leadership-like qualities, and that starts with good work ethics. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're in corporate, good work ethic is something that's hard to find. But again, if you have those things, it puts you in the top percent. I would say top 10%, 1 to 10%. Good work ethic and willingness to learn, that's the top 10% right there. Okay, so now you mix that with a good attitude and you mix that with good presentation, you will be a force to be reckoned with. Let me try to think if there's something else on top of that. But those 4 are gems. These 4: presentation, good attitude, willingness to learn, and last but not least, willingness to learn. And what was the last one I said? Good work ethic, presentation, good presentation, good attitude, willingness to learn, good work ethic. All 4 of those things, you out of here. If you could develop all 4 of those things for yourself, you are out of here. I'm telling you this right now. There's going to be no job that is not going to want to promote you. There's going to be no job that you're going to have that you're not going to, they're not going to see that you need to go to the next level. Those things are things that I needed to perfect, and right now it's still being perfected, but there's a lot of progress is made. So immediately when people see you, they're gonna know that, yo, you're ready for something else. You're ready for the next level. We're at my job. I came in and they're already talking about my path to growth and stuff like that. So always communicate that as well. Even if you have all those things, always be willing to communicate that with your boss about your path, your growth, things that you want to do, how you want to grow. You have to communicate that as well. So don't forget that as well. But yes, develop all 4 things and you will be a force to be reckoned with. You will be unstoppable. And don't sell yourself short thinking like this is not something that you could really do for yourself. Don't sell yourself short. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can make any changes that you need to. You can do anything. If you're not complacent, if you're willing to do the work, you can do anything. Trust and believe that. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. This is the second part. I don't know if there'll be a third part, but you know there's going to be another video coming. I'll talk to you guys. All right, peace.